All right, hello and welcome to Flatware Training today. I'm recording this message during a push period. This is day 6 of summer conference number 2, push period, 2019. And I'm going to be quoting some prices and things. Recognize that the prices change over time. And so if someone's watching this video in years after 2019, you might need to adjust the prices a little bit. Flatware, who buys flatware? Sometimes people buy flatware who've never heard of Cutco before. Sometimes people just are looking for flatware. It's something that's kind of been on their radar. Those are really great people to sell flatware to. Sometimes people buy flatware as part of a Cutco kitchen. Yesterday I did a training on how to introduce the Cutco kitchen concept. And if you missed that, find it, go back and learn it. But I will cover the part about the flatware today where we introduce that. Other people that buy Cutco, in fact, I would venture to say that most of the people who buy Cutco are people who are already Cutco owners, many of these. And we'll be on a service call with them, or they'll be doing an upgrade or adding something to their set, which is, of course, very common. And one of the cool things about the flatware is if we find a customer who has a few items that they want to add onto their set, maybe they're adding a few items from their wish list and they're completing out a set or something, and maybe they've got 4 knives, a hearty slicer and a cheese knife and a this and a that, and it adds up to $400 or something. What's cool about the flatware is that if they're thinking about spending $400 on something, what's neat is we can introduce the flatware to them and then offer them that $400 order that they were going to be getting, or $350 order, whatever it was that they were considering. We can offer that for free as a bonus. Okay, when you put the flatware on a payment option, a 5-part easy pay, then they end up spending about what they would have spent on that upgrade order as the deposit for flatware and getting the upgrade order for free. Or maybe it's gifts. Maybe they're buying 2 or 3 gift packs for some weddings upcoming or something like that. That's a really good time to introduce and sell the flatware, okay? So those are just some preliminary thoughts on this. Also, if you're planning to have a successful career at Cutco, right? Something really important to note is that you want to sell at least every once in a while some big orders, right? Some $1,000 or larger CPO orders, or right at the $1,000 level. It makes you promotions faster. Customers, of course, are happier when they have more Cutco. We all know that. It helps you during push periods, bigger paychecks, etc. So there's a lot of reasons, for you personally, why you want to learn how to do the flatware properly. But also, customers love this stuff. It really is great, and it is one of those type of things that people pass on from generation to generation. In fact, that'll be a lead-in to me showing you the introduction to the Cutco kitchen here. All right, so I'm sharing my screen. Okay, so this little part right here about the legacy flatware right here, this is the portion of the introduction to the Cutco kitchen that you want to make sure that you cover before, at the end when you start to try to actually close or specifically talk on the flatware. So the legacy flatware is a timeless design that never changes. Most flatware companies discontinue designs that go out of style, and then it's impossible to find replacement pieces. It's pretty cool that with Cutco, the tablespoon measures exactly a tablespoon, and or the teaspoon, I read it wrong, and the tablespoon measures exactly a tablespoon. And the table knife actually has an edge that cuts. Imagine that. The legacy flatware is the kind of thing that families pass on from generation to generation, and it has the biggest built-in discount of any set we offer. Okay, so there's your seed planting for the flatware. And let's try to say it right and not read it incorrectly like I did. Okay, when it comes to actually toward the end, whenever you've showed them, maybe they've picked out 4 or 5 knives that they want to get, and at some point it's going to come to the place where you want to introduce the flatware with a full-on description, actually in a process of closing. So you could say, the next part of the Cutco kitchen is the flatware, or I've seen CSPs say, let's say you've got 4 knives. I'm going to use this as an example because it's a really common way. They've got 4 knives that they're thinking about getting. Maybe it's their first time to buy Cutco ever. But you've got this order. Before you try to make a deal and offer them something for free, you just basically quote what the total price is. So before I tell you about what I can do for you because of my contest, have you seen our box of beauty? I've seen people call it the box of beauty, and you point to the Cutco kitchen brochure or the big picture of it, or you might show them in your blue book. Okay, so have you seen the box of beauty, or have you seen our set of the century? Okay, and it is, by the way, it's the best deal that we make. You say most people don't know this, Ms. Jones, but we might be one of the only companies that still making flatware in the United States. Everyone else has gone overseas. Plus, like everything else we make, this is best in class quality. Now, Ms. Jones, most people tell us what they really don't like about their flatware is that if it accidentally slips into the garbage disposal and gets beat up, they have to throw it away. Or they just never really want to use the good stuff like grandma's silver because they don't want to put in the work to polish it all before using it. Or they lose pieces over the years, and then they go to replace those pieces. They can't find replacements because flatware companies are always discontinuing and redesigning their stuff. So it ends up that most people are just buying new sets of flatware over and over, or they're just settling for incomplete and mismatched sets of flatware, and they just give up really. Have you ever had any of this happen, Ms. Jones? I'm going to stop right there for a second. Now, that's a good, important engagement question, right? Every time you say a paragraph or two worth of information, you should always post a question to the customer to get them engaged and make it a conversation, right? We all probably have heard that a good Cutco presentation really is a Cutco conversation, right? We don't want to be talking the whole time. So we ask them that question. You're going to get one of two answers. Most of the time, they're going to be like, oh, yeah, they can relate to at least one of those things, right, that we just mentioned. If for some reason they say no, that's never happened, well, don't freak out because it's just a matter of time for them. And that's basically what you say. If they say, have you ever had any of this happen? And they say, well, no, not really. Say, wow, you're lucky. And what you probably realize, most people realize it's just really a matter of time, right? And they'll almost always agree to that. So anyway, whenever they agree that this has happened, which is what you're going to see most of the time, and then you just say, how does that make you feel, right? And let them engage and let them talk a little bit, right? We're helping them get emotionally involved to some of these challenges that they've dealt with. Then you go right into it. So what our customers love about the Cutco flatware, Ms. Jones, is that first off, you'll notice it's lightweight, but also heavy duty. We don't make the handles super heavy so they don't fall out of an empty bowl or slide into your plate of food when you set them on there. Okay, I'm going to stop right there. This is what it says, hand them a sample, okay? There's a couple of things I want to say about this. Number one is about samples. You may not know, you can get Cutco samples of not just the flatware, but all kinds of things. On Vector Connect, check this out. Did you know this was there? You can buy yourself a can opener for $10, one time only. Buy yourself a can opener. Buy yourself an ice cream scoop, a transplanting trowel for $9, a bypass pruner for $30, a sharpener for $8. Right? And you can sharpen people's straight edge knives very, very easily if you do a service call with this Cutco straight edge sharpener. Or the touch-up tool. Right? I don't call it the sharpener, the handheld touch-up tool. You can buy 5 storage sheaths for $15. Right? It has a sheath for your spatula, your trimmer, your traditional cheese knife, petite chef, and also Hardy slicer. You can get the 3-piece stainless flatware sample set. That's a fork, a teaspoon, and a table knife. Holy cow, the table knife is in there? I did not even realize. I thought it was 2 spoons. They're $25, okay? At a minimum, you got to get that right there. The freaking stainless steel table knife for $25. You're never going to beat that, people. That is awesome, okay? And then you can even buy a completion set, butcher knife, carver, all the things that you don't have in your samples. You can buy that for $159. Now, I wouldn't buy that until you've purchased your own set of samples. Just go in and buy that thing for the discount. I don't know how much that is, but it's super inexpensive. Or highly discounted, but get yourself the samples. You can even get a roll-up paquette. You can get a Hardy slicer, vegetable knife, Santoku, boning knife, cleaver, ultimate roll-up. That's the paquette. You can get all that for $165. Come on, you got to take advantage of that stuff anyway. But without a doubt, if you want to sell some flatware, get for $25. Get yourself that at a minimum. You can only get these things once ever, by the way. Once you order one, it's you're done for that particular item, and you can go back and order more later. All right, that was a side note. So it says, hand them the sample. Now, this paragraph right here is very important to say before handing them the sample. Let me tell you about the Cutco flatware. It's very, very lightweight, okay? In fact, it's so lightweight that without the proper pre-framing, without explaining this, you might have a customer to think it feels cheap, okay? Because it is so lightweight. They're not expecting it to be so light. They'll think it's kind of flimsy that they could bend it, but it's super, super, super heavy durable. In fact, encourage people to take it and try to bend it. It's super tough, okay? So you want to make sure you say that paragraph beforehand, so you pre-frame them so they understand why it's purposefully designed to be so light. Okay, then you hand them the sample, and after you hand them the sample, also, Ms. Jones, it's guaranteed forever, just like everything else we make. So if the garbage disposal attacks one of your forks or spoons, we'll replace it. Okay. Now make sure that you laugh. You kind of put a little laugh in your voice and smile when you say that line. Okay, because that's kind of funny. If the garbage disposal attacks one of your forks or spoons, that's kind of a semi joke there, right? And because it's made of 1810 stainless steel, there's no maintenance to it. And that means it won't tarnish, bend, break, or rust, and it's dishwasher safe. Okay, 1810 stainless steel. Do your research. You can Google that, and you'll see that that's generally considered the highest quality material to make knives from, or flatware from, highest in the industry. Plus, Ms. Jones, Cutco flatware has a very simple, timeless design, so that 30 to 50 years from now, it will still be in style. And that means if you lose a piece, we'll always have replacements, and they will always match. Okay, so that's kind of the beginning part of that. Okay, does that make sense? And should you memorize that? Yes. Okay, you should learn that backward, forward, up, and down. If you're serious about making money, take time to study and learn the way to say things, and every word in here is meticulously chosen. Okay, now we're going to get into some price comparisons and stuff. Just keep in mind, it's very important, always show your value before showing your price, right? That's why we do a Cutco demo in the first place. We never talk prices on a one individual item until we've done a little value creation for that set or for that item. Okay, don't rush this section. Also very important. Okay, as too much information can confuse a client. If you've been around me for any period of time, you've heard me say, the confused mind never buys. Okay, so super important that you write the prices down. Okay, on the back of your demo verification form, on a scratch sheet of paper. And you want to do this slowly when you write those prices, and make sure that the customer's engaged in seeing what it is. Because anyway, that just helps them to have clarity for what you're asking. When you throw around a bunch of numbers, it can get really confusing. Okay, now, Ms. Jones, I've been doing this for 3 years now, or 6 months now. By the way, if you're brand new, which many of you probably watching this are, you've only been working for a couple of months, maybe you use your manager here. Maybe you say, Ms. Jones, my manager's been doing this for 4 years now, been working with Cutco for 4 years now, and the special that we're running on flatware, they say it's the best they've ever seen Cutco do. Okay, which, by the way, of all the sets, homemakers, galleys, you name it, signature, when you add up all the individual prices, like the homemaker right now is $14.79, I think. But if you get it as a set, it's $12.73, right? And that's gonna change soon. But every set has a built-in discount, right? That's like a $200 discount or something on the homemaker set, right? It's pretty good. The flatware crushes everything else when it comes to the discount, right? And this is why I think this is the main reason why. So the people that understand the flatware and the price comparisons and everything, they sell the heck out of flatware. Okay, the CSPs at the fairs and shows, in those events when the Cutco owners are walking by, we sell a lot of flatware to Cutco owners that way. Okay, most people have never shopped around for high-end flatware like this. It's certainly not cheap. And then you want to show some price comparisons, okay? So I'm going to go down to page 3 here, and this is a handout that you're all going to have right there. This is the updated handout. So here's some price comparisons for some 5-piece settings, okay? And what's cool about this, you see these prices here, $175, $185, $180, $185. These aren't the most expensive. They're by far not the most expensive on the market. And the cool thing is they have these, or I don't know if it's cool, but it's cool for us. Their table knives are just, regular old, they're like butter knives. They don't cut anything. You have to still get a steak knife out if you have, or a meat knife out if you have something to cut, chicken or even, vegetables to cut, right? This is from Neiman Marcus, these first 4, just so you know. These 4 here, these 5, are from a company called Keen & Company, right? Go online, you can go to Keen & Company. Here they've got a stainless steel place setting for $410. Here they've got for $550, they've got another stainless steel place setting. Here they've got a gold flatware gold. I doubt it's pure gold. It's probably covered or plated in gold. And here there's a sterling silver. What's really interesting to note is, see these high quality stainless steel settings, like this one especially. This one right here, it's more than the gold. It's more than the sterling silver. Okay, I think people need to understand that silver is kind of people think, oh, silver, stainless or silverware is great, but really when it comes to high quality and what's going to last longer and be better for customers is stainless steel. That's why it costs more here. Stainless steel costs more than the gold and the silver one. And then down here they've got this one. This is a Africa rosewood 5-piece place setting for $320. So it's made out of some kind of wood right here, which I guess is pretty good when it's new, but I wouldn't put that in dishwasher because eventually it's going to look bad. And this is not everyday flatware probably. What's cool about Cutco flatware, by the way, is every day. You could literally use it every day, or you could save it for special occasions, or you could have some that you have in a drawer that you use every day, and another set that you keep in the chest for when you have a very large dinner party. Okay, so. And then these are just some examples of some sets. This is I don't know how to say this. La Guioli, 28-piece flatware set to $3,000. 22-piece flatware set, $2,500. Okay, so you can see that flatware is not inexpensive, right? So you just cover these flatware prices, especially point out that the gold and the silver are cost about the same or less than the stainless steel ones. Okay, that's a really good thing to point out. Anyway, once you do your price comparison, you know how to do a price comparison, you come back to this. The great thing about Cutco, Ms. Jones, is that since we don't sell on TV or in stores, like everything else we have, we can offer you the same quality, or actually better quality, for a much better value. Okay, and what I mean by that is a lower price, Ms. Jones. So our retail is only, and you write this down, $159 per place setting. Okay, remember what they just saw. 185, the cheapest one, 175, 185. They got $200, $300, $400, and $500 ones. Okay, so we're only 159 per place setting. Okay, you write that down. Below that, you put times 12. Okay, because the box of beauty has 12 place settings. That's 60 pieces. Okay, 60 pieces compared to 28 or 22. You guys. Okay, so this is just the greatest thing about the flatware is that when it comes right down to it, it may be the best overall value of anything that we make when it comes to price positioning. So you write that down times 12. So that comes to 1908. Okay, so you write that down, 1908. Right, and they're already thinking that's a great deal. Okay, 1908 because it's 159 per place setting, better quality, better guaranteed. Table knife that actually has a double D edge on it, okay? And it's a better price than any of those other ones we saw. That's awesome already, okay? But wait, there's more. Shop around for a nice chest to store it in. That's going to run you at least $100. And by the way, that's very conservative for a hand-rubbed, hand-stained cherry wood chest. Add on the 6-piece serving set for $268, and your total investment is $2276. Okay, stop there for a second. I'm letting you guys know as sales reps, what we've done here is we haven't just put the box of beauty in there. We also added in this right here, this serving set, right? And you can show them the picture here in the blue book or on their Cutco Kitchen brochure for the serving set, right? So we did that because it gives us a higher place to start. So if we want to do some drop downs, if they don't go for it right away, we can take that off of there and say, well, if you want to wait and get the serving set later, you can bring the price down to, down on it. Okay. So your total investment is $2276. Write that down, $2276. Okay. Well, here's the great thing. With the special we have right now, when you get the package deal, 12 place settings in the cherry wood chest, okay, point it out, make sure that they're clear, they're seeing what they're getting, okay, and the serving set, it's only $1667. So you mark out $2276 and you write down $1667. Ms. Jones, that's $609. Write that down, $609 off the price. Okay, and if you want to throw the Easy Pay price in there right now, so that's $336 plus tax on the Easy Pay. Okay, now what's cool about that is if they were thinking about buying some Cutco already and it was $250, $350, even $400, you can now put that for free if you want to, okay? And I'll show you how to say that in there, right? So they were already thinking about spending $300, $400. Now they can spend that same amount, get everything they were thinking about getting before, plus they get the flatware chest. Oh my God. I don't know if you're in the market for flatware today or not, Miss Jones, but if you think you might want to get something like this anytime in the future, then now would be the best time to get it if you can. Does that make sense? With a nod, okay? It's important that you learn how to emphasize the right things on that sentence, okay? Or just emphasize something, so, and vary your pace and your tone, right? Put the right emphasis on the proper syllable, okay? I don't know if you're in the market for flatware today or not, but if you think you may want to get something like this anytime in the future, then now would be the best time to get it if you can. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, so if they say absolutely, they might just be ready to, buy right now. Okay. And that's exciting. And then you can, give them or have them pay for the other things that they wanted and give them something else for free. You don't want to just start throwing free things in there and bringing the price down. The best way to use bonus points is to build the price up, help them get a bigger order. And the little line that people like to use is the more you get, the more you save. Okay. Or maybe you add on the flatware set and on a homemaker that they're buying, or an ultimate set that they're buying, or something like that, right? You never know. Okay. And if you need to, okay, and when you get that flatware, Miss Jones, I can give you that $370 order of Cutco that you were looking at earlier for free as a buy now bonus, or as a first call special, okay, however you call it. How does that sound? Right, and there's your your final closing question, right? How does that sound? Okay. Now, do I think you should really study this and learn it? Absolutely. Do I think you should role play it several times? Yes, I do. You're going to be way more successful at this if you really learn these words, okay, and internalize the prices and make sure you know the prices and you know how to write down and do the math. Practice it. Hey, and if you haven't practiced it much in front of a customer, just practice it in front of a customer, right? You'll find yourself getting better and better just the more that you do it. So there's your flatware training for today. That's really good training, by the way. If you do what I just showed you and you do that consistently, if you can add 1 to 2 flatware sets a week, or even 1 to 2 a month, and if you just show it on every one of your appointments, you will see your CPO be raised dramatically. $2,000 extra per month. That's $24,000 a year extra if you just get 2 a month, much less 2 a week. What this can really do for your financial opportunity here at Cutco and help a lot of people get something really awesome. So there's your cookware or your flatware training, cookware training that's coming too. Okay. Thank you for your time. Take care.